Hello, dear student, this is Mayur. I requested you all to please, before viewing the video, please click on subscribe and that register yourself there. Along with subscription, please enable the bell icon which is nearby or besides to the subscribe button. In future, if I am going to upload any video related to this or that another type, which helpful you to get touch with class Parivar. Thanks, Mayur. Chapter number 10, Exception Handling in Java. Exception, indication of a problem that occurs during a program's execution. It usually signals an error. Compiler. Compiler used to convert source code into the object code. Compile time error, usually the mistakes of a programmer called syntax error or compilation error. Exit code or exit status indicate whether the commands or a program executed successfully or not. If exit code would be the 0, indicate that the command executed successfully. If exit code would be 1, indicate that some problems occurred while executing the command, means command not executed successfully. Runtime error, the exceptions will be generated during the runtime. Java long and Java IO. Packages in Java contains a hierarchy of classes dealing with the various exceptions created by JVM Java Virtual Machine and thrown automatically. There are few widely observed the runtime exceptions. First one, array index out of bound exception, arithmetic exception, file not found exception, null pointer exception, number format exception, printer IO exception. Exception handling, object oriented technique for managing the errors. Performing the exception handling, user try to ensure that program does not terminate abruptly nor does it generate unexpected output. Try, catch and finally keywords used to write an exception handler in the presence of exception, and this keyword present block of statement within the barracks. Try block contains the code that may give rise to one or more exception. Catch block must immediately follow the try block, contains the code that is to be executed to handle an exception. Finally block, generally used to clean up at the end of execution. A try block always executed regardless of whether or not exceptions are thrown during the executions of the associated try block or not. Widely used if a file needs to be closed or a critical resources is to be the release at the compilations of the program. Finally block is associated with a particular try block and it must be located immediately following any catch block for the corresponding try block. If there are no catch block, then the finally block can be the positioning immediately after the try block. If the finally block or catch blocks are not positioned correctly, then the program will not compile. Throw statement, keyword is used to explicitly throw an exception object. Thrown object must be of type Java language throwable class. Syntax, throw exception object semicolon. When a throw statement is encountered, a search for matching the catch block begins. Throws close, used in a method declaration or a constructor declarations to inform that the code within the constructor or method may throw an exception. It signifies that there is no catch block within the method that can handle the exception. Using throws close, a method can throw multiple exceptions. Custom exceptions are an application-specific exception. Java does not provide built-in exception classes for application-specific exception. User defined exception created by creating a subclass of exception class can be thrown explicitly using the throw statement. Java.util.scanner class used to accept the input from the keyboard. Next integer method. Next integer method of the scanner class helps in reading integer input from the console. Assertions used to debug the program before deploying it to the clients. Used to check something should never happen. Used by the programmer for debugging purpose. With this statement, here we finish this chapter also. Thank